This is important. This is important. This is important. This is important. Just because parent number one didn't pay child support this month or last month doesn't mean parent number two can keep the child away from parent number one. Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean that at all. And just because parent number two is keeping the child away from parent number one doesn't mean parent one can get away with not paying child support. If you want to resolve those type of issues, go back to court. All right. So when people think about child support, they just think about the first part of it. They go to court and they get child support established. But in the child support order, there's two parts. There's the child support, and then there's the visitation portion about, every other weekend, alternating holidays, summer schedule, things like that. That's just as binding. Child support, how much person one is supposed to pay, as well as the visitation schedule. Basically saying parent number two has to allow parent number one to have access to the children. Okay? People focus on the child support amount, but don't pay attention to the visitation portion. The visitation, the parent has to allow the other parent to have access to the children. Okay? And if either party is not doing their part, that's when you go back to court and have what's called an enforcement hearing. Again, I'm talking about Texas. Other states, I'm pretty sure they're very similar, with probably some minor differences. But you have an enforcement hearing to enforce the order, the legal binding contract, the legal binding decision that the judge made, right? You have what's called an enforcement hearing. And you're saying, hey, parent number two is not letting me see the child. Judge, we got to fix that. Or parent number one is not paying child support. Judge, we got to fix that. And then there's remedies for that, right? So both of those are equally important. But so the way to resolve and fix those issues, if one parent is not holding up their end, is to go back to court. Now, a lot of times that means lawyers again and money, and so people don't do it, and it's frustrating. Yes, all that is true, but that's the avenue you need to go to get. That's the avenue you need to go to get that done. Right? That's how you go about it. So keep it in mind. If you want to resolve the issues that exist within the order, if one party is not holding up their end, go back to court. Don't think you have the right to do it on your own. If one person doesn't do something, you have a right to withhold the child and vice versa. You can't do that. Okay? You can't do it.